Rival House Network.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Riverman from BehindTheMaskPresents.com and the Goose, and we're here with a special guest, Chaz Dumas. What's going on, Chaz?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
He's our convention coordinator for the new upcoming KC Crypticon that'll be coming at you August 16th through the 18th in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Ramada Inn Hotel. And basically, we just wanted to chat with you a little bit about some of the events going on at the convention and some of the guests and everything. And but first of all, I just wanted to ask you real quick how this all came about with Crypticon Kansas City.
Well, to be honest, about 15 years ago, it all started with publishing comic books. I used to publish comics, and I licensed a lot of stuff from, like, George Romero. I did stuff like The Howling through Joe Castleberg. I did Evil Dead licensing, all different kinds of franchise properties. Then I went from publishing comics to a magazine called Cryptic Magazine, and then that grew into Cryptic Television and the conventions that we do. And we've been doing conventions for over 7 years. We have them in Seattle, Minneapolis, and Kansas City.
Also wanted to ask you, how do you go about, finding some of these celebrities and getting in contact with them? Is it really difficult, or?
Well, to be honest, doing 15 years of publishing and going to all the different conventions and trade shows is how we met everybody and how we got to know everybody. As we find that it's kind of like a carnival circuit. You'll see somebody at Flashback, you'll see somebody at Monster Mania, you'll see somebody at, Horror Hound. So eventually, after several years of it, you kind of eventually just cross paths with everybody and kind of get to know them as you go. So
this will be my second time at KC Crypticon, and I just want to say last year was a blast. I think it was probably the best convention I've been to so far, just because it's like a family atmosphere too, which I really, really enjoy. I mean, talking to the celebrities and talking to everybody, I think I made more friends going to one of your shows than let's say a Horror Hound or something like that. So I want to give you props for that. But
yeah, well, we try to keep it very intimate. We're not a big fan of the conventions where you have to stand in a big line to finally get to meet somebody who might be at their table for an hour or two, So we try not to create that situation. We usually work with celebrities who are very open to even hanging out and partying and having dinner and drinks and stuff like that, and kind of just being a part of the festivities. So we kind of look for that more so than anything. So.
Which is good, because there's been a lot of controversy with some of these conventions lately with the whole the Walking Dead scene, and not everybody being able to meet their favorite celebrities because it's too crowded and that sort of thing. So it's good that it's like that. And going from there, let's jump into some of the guests you are having here at KC Crypticon.
Well, we're definitely bringing in a lot of the Devil's Rejects. We're trying to do Last Supper with the Devil's Rejects, and we always have a private dinner party. Those are usually the tickets that get sold out first. Matter of fact, I think this year we posted them and they were sold within a week.
Oh, wow.
And after that, it just strictly moves on to VIP stuff and everything. But we have a lot of a mixture between nostalgic, meaning stuff like Basket Case. We have Kevin, who's the star of all three of those films, and he doesn't do a lot of conventions. And so for him to step out and have fun with us in Kansas City, that's pretty exciting to us. We have a lot of crossover stuff like Eileen with Ernie Hudson, and there hasn't been a real Crow reunion or anything like that. We originally had Tony Todd set up onto the show as well. Tony had to take an acting gig, and usually with these conventions, movie work trumps a convention just because they have to keep their work status quo,
Sure.
Is that the story with Kane Hodder I heard canceled too, or?
Yep, Kane he got offered a really good movie in Germany, and he was excited to do so. But most likely he'll be back next year. He came for our first year, and he's a pretty straightforward guy. So if he's telling me he's coming back, he'll be back. So.
Oh yeah, when I saw that William Forsythe just got added pretty recently too, and once I saw that, I was like, oh, this is gonna be even better.
Yeah, we have a pretty good roster, and generally when somebody falls out, we put in somebody better or at least equal to.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Tony had fallen off Ken Fore, he quickly wanted to be in a show, and he was already a Devil's Reject, and he's also crossover with Tom Savini, who's also one of our guests.
Yes.
So, once again, we kind of try to keep a good mixture between cult classic stuff and modern mainstream. And then, of course, we kind of play favoritism to the underground stuff, people like Tiffany Shepis and Debbie Rochon, including the Basket Case, with Kevin. It's definitely, we try to have an equal balance of that nostalgic and underground stuff versus, the modern and mainstream. Josh Stewart, who's in The Collector and The Collector 2, and, he also does the web series called Cold Storage, which is a Walking Dead web series. And, got a couple other cool things under his belt as well, but everybody seems to really like The Collector, so he's one of our newer film celebrities. And we try to, there's so many people that love anything that Romero touches, we try to always bring somebody in from that, genre. We always try to bring a Leatherface. We always try to bring a Mike Myers, so we want to make sure we're grabbing those icons, as well for people. So, and we've kind of done that every year, bringing a different one. So
we're super stoked about Savini in particular, because I think he had to cancel last year, right?
He did. He actually was working on Quentin Tarantino's, what's the name of the Western that he just did?
Oh, Django?
Django.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The D is silent.
There's a small part in there with Savini where he's one of the slave trappers.
Oh, okay.
And that's what he was working on during the time of last year. So
that's cool. Earlier, I'd seen on your guys' Facebook that you guys were trying to negotiate with somebody like Danny Glover too. Did that not materialize in the end run?
Yes, actually, Danny was going to come this year, and he kind of double booked himself in film and in convention. So I believe he is at Monster Mania this year, but he will be in Kansas City next year. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we're already planning for 2014. So it's one of those things that when we get to the show, we'll actually announce next year's date and some of our first guests that we announce. So.
Oh, wow. Speaking of moving on from some of the guests, the event schedule looks pretty sweet this year. I mean, it looks like you guys are having like a Sinful Sideshow, and are you having like a stage outside and everything? And
outside, we have a fenced off parking lot where we've secluded it, where you have to go in through the convention. Mm-hmm. And once you tour through the convention, if you want to go outside, we have a stage for bands. We have a stage for sideshow acts. We have monster hot rods and bikes. We have a zombie shooting gallery called Dead Zone or Zombie Zone.
Hell yeah.
And so there's lots of fun stuff to do outside as well as inside. And we have a bar out there. And then we have the Zombie Bar and Grill on the inside, which we'll be broadcasting a lot of live Cryptic Television from there. So.
And that's blowing up pretty big now, isn't the Cryptic Television? I see it all over Facebook now.
250,000 right now.
Oh, so. Wow. That's great.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, and more cool content. There are a lot of great independent artists, and Crypticon and Cryptic Television is a huge supporter of independent filmmakers. And some of our favorites are from local guys, such as Patrick Ray.
Oh yeah.
He's one of our biggest contributors for short films, and he's probably one of my favorite short film makers. But we try to expose him and his work as much as possible onto the station. we get stuff from all over the world. We've gotten some great new series of our own called The Great Dying. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, you'll definitely like this. Been doing stuff with Universal and NBC where we're getting to show some of their top classic series, such as Friday the 13th series or Freddy's Nightmare.
Hell yeah, man.
Like
Yeah, I love the Friday the 13th series.
I do. Freddy's Nightmare is good, too.
Stuff like Night Gallery, Twilight Zone, we've been bouncing back and forth with deals for them. And what we've been doing with a lot of the major networks and the major film companies is that we trade them advertising spots in exchange to be able to showcase some of our fans' favorite stuff. So they've actually thrown movies to us like Fright Night and stuff like that. So, and it's kind of funny. A lot of the fans would rather watch the old one than the new one. So
exactly. I saw the trailer for the second one. I was like, no.
Yeah. That's probably a director video, I'm guessing. Yeah. I mean, I know they've sent us trailer stuff for it already. So, but yeah, we're definitely supporters of the local community. We're all about local filmmakers, local artists, anybody in the Midwest. We're supporting it. We got guys from Iowa that just did Escape of the Dead, which is, by the way, going to be one of our showcases, and they were the winner of the Cryptic Television competition for film festival at Crypticon. So
I was going to ask, how many submissions do you guys got for film viewing this year?
We had over 70-some films that submitted.
Wow.
I myself direct and produce films, and then I work with a couple of distributors. Generally what we do is we put 3 or 4 of us watching it, and then if we can make it through the first 10 minutes of it, then we kind of put it up onto this is the maybe pile, It eventually gets down to where there's just like 3 or 4 movies, and then all of us kind of just vote on it at that point. So,
how many did we end up with this year?
We picked 3 different films, and some of them we've actually already signed distro deals and broadcasting deals with for Cryptic Television. So,
okay.
And then have set up distribution for them. The station is already picking up distribution in like truck stops and mom and pop shops, and then even some major stores. We're under negotiation right now with Walmart's. So problem with them is that you have to keep it either PG or they won't put it in certain shelving areas or certain states or cities. So
sure,
that's kind of hard to do in the horror realm. So
yeah. And you guys are having a lot of vendors. Was there any really StandUp
vendor space is sold out.
Oh, really?
We have no tables. We've been sold out for several weeks, but there's always people calling, trying to get in, and I just tell them, just be sure you grab a table for next year while you can. We generally always have what we call early bird deal for people that want to get their table early for next year. It's cheaper, and it assures that they're going to get a spot. So.
Hell yeah! I think we reserved ours in February, so yeah, you got to get them early because they go quick.
Yeah, definitely got to get on early. Same thing, we with sponsors. We have. It's funny. At the first of the year, we were looking for sponsors. By midsummer, we're turning sponsorship away. So it's one of those deals where, if people really want to get involved and be a part of it, then we bring them on early so we can plan out what we're doing. I mean, we do a lot of major marketing throughout the year.
Sure.
And now with the station having the viewers that it is, I mean, we're naturally running our own commercials and doing our own networking there. So.
Yeah, I saw that one of your sponsors was Scream Factory, which is probably the biggest DVD distributor there is right now, which is crazy.
Yeah, those guys are fantastic. I mean, I love the stuff that they're picking up and putting out. They're even grabbing onto some more modern stuff. I just watched a film the other day. I can't remember the name of it, but it had Bill Moseley in it. And Bill was just telling me about working on this film like a year ago. And said, oh, yeah, we're like in Switzerland when we're shooting in this creepy old house and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I kept thinking to myself, I'm never going to see that released in the U.S., am I? And sure enough, here it is on Screen Factory. So, yeah, those guys are fantastic. And they crank out great re-releases and digitally remastered versions of all the classic stuff. I just got the Howling myself.
Nice.
And I noticed that there's a company called I want to say Good Guy or Good Dude, and they're a graphics company, and the guy's a painter, and he paints these covers that are very cool, retrospective of classic horror films, and now his stuff is on the cover of a majority of either great independent films that are being released or a lot of stuff on Scream Factory. And I've seen him on a couple of other major label stuff like Blue Underground, and Synapse has done stuff with him. But I noticed that most of the new releases coming out from them are sporting their artwork. So.
Yeah, and they do the reverse cover art too, which I mean, you can sport the old one or the the brand new one from the artist, which is really cool.
Yeah. I'm kind of a fan myself of that whole retro thing. So I love the 60s and 70s lobby art stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Tell people where they can get tickets still for KC Crypticon.
Well, you can still get some VIP and then regular daily tickets at www.crypticonkansascity, all one word.com. And you will probably be getting cut off from that by Friday because we have to tally everything up, and we gather up all the stuff for our VIPs. We give them a special bag filled with all kinds of cool stuff, as well as a T-shirt, a commemorative T-shirt from the show. We actually have people that have been trying to order last year's shirts.
Oh, wow.
Off the site. So we actually took a special limited run reprint from last year, and I think we're going to be doing that each year for people that come back and say, hey, I want to get one from last year. So
tickets are still going to be available at the door too then, or?
Yes, they will, but there will be a limitation to VIP. So we're telling people in advance, if you want to get in for VIP, the door is open for VIP at 4:30. And I would suggest that you get down there at like 3 o'clock. And we have like an area that, you can lounge out and watch TV and stuff like that. So, waiting in line is not a chore, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we have a lot of great events going on within the show. Friday night we have tattoo contests where we give away great prizes and cash and free tattoos. We have Saturday as our costume contest where we give away Scream Factory movies. There's other great prizes from other local sponsors and contributors. And then on Saturday, our makeup contest is actually sponsored by Stan Winston School.
Oh, nice.
And U.S. Boy and Makeup, and they supply a $200 traveling makeup kit, a professional style makeup kit. Stan Winston gives away a year's worth of online classes and courses, plus you can pick 20 of your favorite training videos from their website. And they're very supportive as well about, the local arts and independent effects people. So we try to make it as family friendly as possible. So we do have lots of cool stuff for the kids to do and things like that. There's face painting and balloon magic, and we have a couple of magicians and stuff like that are doing stuff on the sideshow. There's just tons of do for everybody. So
is Double Sex going to be playing this year?
Yes, they will be headlining on Saturday.
Oh, great.
And Friday night we have a band from Minneapolis called Nuisance. They've been getting great response off the Cryptic Television thing, so that's kind of how they got the gig. We had played a stream of videos. Max, the station DJ, has a show called Exposure 101, and he had been showcasing their video, and we got more requests for that band than anybody else. So we eventually said, hey, would you guys like to play the show? And so they're pretty excited about that.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it sounds like a blast, and yeah, I mean, we can't wait to get down there. I'll be dragging my old lady down there for the first time. It's her first con, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll keep her up all night in those all-night party movie rooms.
That's right.
So.
play some drinky games in the all-night.
We'll be talking about it all the way up till next year. So
yeah. Well, yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man, and talking about the show and everything, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, definitely look forward to seeing you guys again, too. And make sure you get to hang out and party on Friday and Saturday, okay?
Very cool, man. Well, thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you guys there.